Hey everyone, welcome back to 996 to Howl. I got to bring out the whiteboard. I mean, the Fives definitely fell off a cliff after that hot start, 8-2. What were they, like tied for first in the league? The Utah Mammoth are in a rough patch, and we just got to talk about it. If you're a fan who thinks the sky is falling, everything is bad. They got to rebuild. They got it's all bad. It's valid concerns and valid reasoning. If you think, you know what, it's a bad stretch, still get out of it. Somewhat agree, a little bit naive, but something is definitely rotten in the state of Utah, and they're not even playing in Utah. So we'll get into it. The Utah Mammoth on a 3-game losing streak, but they've lost 5 out of 6 games they've played. They're about one Vamelka glove save in overtime in Buffalo away from 6-game losing streak. And to go from a 7-game winning streak to a 6-game losing streak, I literally said, in that loss against Edmonton, don't make this loss into 2, 3, 4 games in a row of losing. Like, once you lose, you got to stop the bleeding, and they haven't. Like, the bleeding has continued since that Edmonton game. They went from an 8-2 start, now they're at 9-7, dropping down from top in the league to pretty much a last wildcard spot, and if anything, looking inside into the playoffs, because there's teams that are going to grab points until the next time Utah plays. Thankfully, they're going to be at home the next 2 games, I believe, against Buffalo and the Islanders, but 8 out of their 9 last games have been on the road, and they have the least amount of home games played in the whole NHL, only playing 5 games at home, and we just finished up game 16 in Ottawa. I mean, that new practice facility, thank God it was built, because these guys are going to get home and go straight to that facility and just enjoy themselves. There's a lot of things wrong. And like I said, playing a lot of games on the road, not a lot at home. There's some give and take there. There's some little bit of good things as well. Power play 0 for 13. It seems like the offense just completely dried up. The power play, like I said, 0 for 13. They're trying new things. I hugely disagree with putting Stenlund on the first power play unit. I am just totally confused about that. You're sacrificing a young sniper in Dylan Gunther, taking him off the first unit and putting in a defensive center, 4th line center, just to win a face-off. Like, you got Logan Cooley there on the first unit. He's going to make $10 million next year, and he can't win a face-off. Nick Schmaltz started his career as a center. Sometimes in Arizona, he was a center. Like, hey, try to win a face-off, Nick Schmaltz. You were supposed to be a center to start your NHL career. Now you're left to the wing, but someone needs to win a faceoff. You cannot sacrifice high quality talent just for that face-off win. So I really disagreed. That started in Montreal. They put Stenlund on PP1. I rarely disagree with Andre Tourigny. It is the first time, I think, in my fandom with Andre Tourigny where I just totally disagreed with his decision. It made me frustrated. And, feeling frustrated at this team, it's, again, a new feeling. That's what happens with expectations. This team is supposed to be making the playoffs. That comes with expectations. And when things start to go awry, you start to get really frustrated and emotional, and that's where we're at. But luckily, the PK is 10 for 10. The last time they scored a power play goal was game number 10 against Winnipeg. The last time they allowed a power play goal, same game number 10 against Winnipeg. So PK doing great, 10 for 10. Great to see that. The other issue is, it's not like you could turn these games off after the second period. Pretty much all these games, except Edmonton, there are 1-goal games to start the third period. Against the Leafs, they were tied 2-2 to start the game. Against Montreal, they were down 3-2. 1 minute in, Nick Schmaltz dangles through the defensive core. He literally beats the goaltender but hits the post or doesn't get enough mustard on that dangle to slide the puck in. Against Ottawa, down 1 goal, 30 seconds into the game, into the third period, McBain actually scores, but he gets disallowed for goaltender interference. I agreed with that call. I mean, he fell over the goalie. There's not much you can do on his own volition as well. I understand he's at the side of the net and sort of backs into the goaltender, but we'll leave it at that. There's some bad playing with the team as well. Bad line changes leading to goals. We saw that against Montreal. It was like the fourth goal of the game that really put the game away. Against Ottawa, the first goal of the game, they do a bad line change. Ottawa catches them. Sure, the actual goal was a few lucky bounces that go around Vanecek, but still, you don't want to see that. And just the playmaking in the top six, I feel like they're making the wrong play. Earlier in the season, they would be making the right play. You'd be watching the game, they'd make a pass, and it would amaze you about the pass. Like, you know what? That was a great pass. That was the right play, and I didn't even consider that. But nowadays, it's like they're making the wrong play. Like, they'll make a pass or a play, and I would say to myself, you should have went to that other guy who's pretty much wide open. And this is all leading to, I think, they need more practice time. Because they're playing on the road so much, 8 out of 9, you don't have a lot of practice time. You pretty much have these morning skates, which is just fine-tuning maybe the special teams, but it seems like they're not even fine-tuning the power play. Andre Tourney's teams in the past 4 years, whenever they have a lot of practice time, they go on a good run and they play really well. I just feel like this team really needs some practice time. There's some weak goals given up by both goaltenders, but they're not the sole reason that they're losing these games. But like the top six, like some other players on the back end, Olimata, maybe some other D, like the goalies aren't playing stellar either. There's weak goals, bad goals at bad times. Vejmelka, can't seal up his post. There's that wraparound goal on Ottawa against Vanecek. Like, I don't even know how that goes in. The puck was on the floor. His pad was on the floor. He just wasn't hard enough, the pad on the ice, to stop the puck. Vejmelka against Montreal, a bad angle shot from the goal line, from the corner, a wraparound goal here. He was having a rough game against Montreal in that third period. But, when there's a bad goal that happens and then you also can't score easily and you have no luck whatsoever, the teams also had zero luck in the past, 3-game losing streak. You could even stretch that to all those 5 losses, Edmonton, Tampa, and the previous 3 against Canadian teams. They've had zero luck, and I know I'm not saying that, all these losses are lucky. It's like they're playing pretty poor. Not even pretty poor, like there's glaring issues in the top 6, especially the young gun line, but they're also not getting lucky bounces to go their way, and they're also letting in like 1 bad goal a game. And these are like 1-goal games in the third period that just end the game pretty much. The bottom 6 scoring at the 10-game progress video, I said, you know what, the top 6, Schmaltz, Cooley, they're scoring above their heads. That's going to come back down to earth. And the secondary scoring wasn't doing a whole lot in those first 10 games. So I said, once that top 6 scoring comes down to earth, the bottom 6 scoring needs to increase. So the bottom 6 scoring is increasing. Yamamoto having good games. Carconi's having a great few games here. Krause having a good few games. McBain, looked like he scored, but he didn't. But then the top 6 the scoring isn't coming down to earth. It's like going through the actual ground of the earth to like the core of the earth. It's like nowhere to be seen. You can see the numbers here. Cooley, 1 assist in his last 5 games. Gunther, 1 goal, and that goal was like 2 minutes left in that Leafs game where the game was over already. And Peterka, 0 points in the past 5 games, a -6 for Peterka, -5 for Gunther, and a -4 for Cooley. They separated that lines. I'm okay with like blending the lines, line juggling to just spark something, but it didn't spark anything. They did that. They started those line jugglings in Montreal, putting Cooley with Keller and Schmaltz, and then putting Hayden with Peterka and Gunther. I wouldn't agree with that. I feel like Keller, Schmaltz, Cooley, they all want to hold the puck. They all want to enter the zone with possession. Maybe a little bit too much of the same player. I think like a Hayden, Schmaltz, Peterka, and then, we ended the year with the hockey club, like the last 20 games with Keller, Cooley, Gunther. So maybe you try that just to spark something. I'm not sure what else you do. You can't bring anyone from the bottom 6 up to the top 6, and you don't want to open that Pandora's box of putting someone in the top 6 at the bottom 6. Like once you put like Peterka on the third line. It's like, well, that trade kind of didn't make sense. You just replaced Josh Doan for Peterka and then just gave away Kesselring. Like, Peterka needs to be in the top six. They just got to figure it out. Like I said, practice time, they're new line mates. I would try again with the young gun line. I wouldn't write them off just yet, even though they're having a bad time. Just that configuration of the top six, maybe there's another configuration that works well. You have Daniel Boot in the American Hockey League lighting it up. He had a hat trick on the weekend for Tucson. He has 13 points in 12 games. When do we start to see him get called up? But when you call up Boot, who are you going to put down? Because you have too many healthy scratches. O'Brien, and then one of DeSimone and Mata, and then Dursey should be coming back soon. So once Dursey comes back, you can't really call up Boot because then you'll have to send someone on waivers. So that would mean Yamamoto, the odd man out, or O'Brien. And I don't think the organization's ready to put any of those guys on waivers. I think someone will pick up Yamamoto. So you can't really call up Boot because you got too many roster players anyways, but he, like, injecting him onto a line, like the way Boot is scoring goals in the American Hockey League, I'm seeing the highlights. He attacks the middle of the ice. He has patience. He's looking for those open areas down the middle of the slot area. And it feels like this top six recently, they're just not penetrating that house area. It's a lot of perimeter. The goals that the top six are scoring, like from Keller, Schmaltz, and that lone Gunther goal, they're individual plays. Like against Ottawa, both Keller and Schmaltz were identical goals. They took the puck from the neutral zone all by themselves, just went down the wing and just went to the net. They're not really making plays in the offensive zone to generate high danger chances. So I see that as a glaring issue as well. So they need practice time. It's a bad stretch. You're welcome to be angry. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. This is a territory that comes with expectations. I wouldn't be naive and say everything's fine. Everything is not fine. You don't go from 8-2 to 9-7. They got to pick it back up. I truly believe being at home will help this team out of this funk. It's a pretty rough road schedule to start the year. The bulk of their home games are in like March and April. They don't even have a road game in February, albeit there's only 4 games in February because of the Olympic break, but they're not even leaving their houses for the whole month of February. I'm sure they're loving that. They can't wait. So it's all backloaded, the home games. For me right now, we always said this was a wild card team. Top 3 in the division, I would have never expected. So just, they got to keep battling, tread water, stop the bleeding, figure it out, and just be in that wild card race until the new year where you start to get all those home games, the schedule starts to become in your favor, and then you really put, your foot on the gas. But for right now, they got to fix things. I hope the locker room knows that. And the answer is within the locker room. I'm not suggesting go out and grab guys. Like these 3 players had unbelievable first 10 games of the season. It's within them. It's there. It's just something went wrong. No practice time, on the road too much. Or, I'm sure Andre Tournier knows better than me and better than us what's really going on. So I understand there's a lot of concern, and you have every right to be concerned. There's a lot of things going wrong. I think they can fix it. It's not like they're getting walked every game. Like I said already, they're in these games. In the third period, it's a 1-goal game. Like every game this season has been pretty much a 1-goal game in the third period. They're right there. They need that goal. They went out and got Peterka to get that goal. And he's done that. Against Minnesota, he won the game. Against Calgary, he won the game. Like without Peterka there, we don't win those games. So he was doing it. Everyone was doing it. Top 6 now is just kind of fumbling the ball hard, and they got to regroup. I'm not suggesting to fire the coach already, but he's definitely making some questionable decisions that are leaving me frustrated, but I do think they're going to work it out. And I have hope and expectations that they're going to start figuring it out sooner rather than later. Hopefully I'm not wrong on that. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.